I talk, you listen. Welcome to my one-man panel of madness. Alright, everybody, this is Dr. Gio Who, and alright, so this week's episode, I think, had a bit of a classic Doctor Who feel to it. And the way I know that is because I watched the episode with two friends, and I don't think they kind of enjoyed it as much as the previous 4 episodes. And I think it's because it just was a bit more of a classic Doctor Who episode. And the reason I say it is because it had the feel of it. You know, it wasn't such a huge, sort of big action-packed episode, but it reminds me of an episode with Tom Baker, the 4th Doctor, and Romana. They're in a hospital. It's almost similar setting. And it's actually the episode where we first encounter and meet K9, who then later goes off with the Doctor. So it's kind of almost similar in tone and the way that it was done. So, yeah, I enjoyed it. I'm not going to say it's a definite favorite. I think that maybe the pace was just a little slow, but it had a lot of really good moments. The villain, I think, or, well, if we can call it a villain, you know, well, he eats stuff, and he's cute and cuddly. The first thing I thought was Stitch from Lilo and Stitch. So he wasn't terrifying, but what he could do, the damage he could do, was terrifying, because he could easily eat up the ship, and then they all die. The male pregnancy was not anything new. I mean, we've had sort of similar, well, actually, we haven't had male birth, or a male giving birth yet, but still, it's an alien species that's not human, so we don't know. Maybe they are able to carry babies. I thought that was kind of cool, but somebody had made a comment, a friend of mine made a comment, that it seems like they are pushing a lot of you know, sort of LGBTQ type information. I really just don't know how to put this eloquently, so I'm trying my hardest. Now, some people will say that it's nothing but PC propaganda, that the BBC is trying to just shove all this stuff down our throats. Not necessarily. I don't think that's their agenda. Definitely, it is something new, something that we haven't seen. But we have seen, you know, the relationship with Madame Vastra and Jenny, Captain Jack Harkness. So there's always been a hint of representation from sort of the gay and lesbian side. And this one is just that, you know, he may not, his species is not gay, you know, we don't know if they're gay or not. It's just a species where male carry babies. So, I'm okay with it. I just feel like it was maybe a little much. There could have been maybe another kind of warrior that was wounded or something, but whatever, I digress. So yeah, overall, I'm not going to say it was a great episode. It's kind of that middle one. You know, it's the 5th episode, so we're kind of going up the hill. And we probably took a little bit of a dive. I'm going to assume that when we look at the numbers, it probably was not as well viewed, because most people would probably think it wasn't that great of an episode. But I enjoyed it. I'm enjoying all of Jodie Whittaker's episodes. I know that there are still many people out there who do not like Jodie as the Doctor, and people who just do not like the Doctor being female. So we're 5 weeks in, but we are still getting the same rants and so forth. But here's my point on that. I think that if we are pushing away fans that have grown up with Doctor Who, and certainly many fans who grew up with Doctor Who, I think it's almost 50-50. 50% would say, oh, this is great, it's good for our show, it keeps it going. The other half says, no, for me, Doctor Who died with Peter Capaldi, or the 12th Doctor. So, I don't know. I can't change people's minds. What I can say is that I think that it's innovative. So far, it's been very appealing and has sort of a cool vibe to it. But I do warn the BBC that they should not try to do anything to make it too out there. Doctor Who has always had a specific formula. It's a formula that does change, but it still has its main ingredients. And when we start pushing too much new, too quickly, too fast, a lot of people are going to jump ship. And you're going to alienate the fans that have actually been there from the very beginning. And unfortunately, I don't want to see where that happens, where they begin to say, well, we have a whole new audience now, so we don't need the old fans, because that would be dangerous, first of all. So, the good thing is Doctor Who has 55 plus years, well, I think 55 years, I could be wrong, sorry, of history, and I think that that's a good thing, that anyone can go back and enjoy the Doctor that they enjoy. That's why many people say, hey, I have a Doctor, this is my Doctor. I still enjoy Peter Capaldi. I love Peter Capaldi. Sometimes I say, oh, I really miss Peter Capaldi as a Doctor. Just the way he did things was very doctory, I guess you could say. So we'll see. We'll see. There's lots of rumors going around about different things with regards to the show, and I'm not going to give them a bit of credence until I know for a fact that the BBC has said, yep, it's going to be, the next season will air at this time and so forth. So hopefully they don't push it again to where it's another year without it, because I still think that that's very dangerous. Star Trek Discovery is doing very good, and it's got another season coming up just months after the end of the first season. And I think that's the best way to go. You want to go with the wave. You want to go with that tide, not go against it, because that's when the show fails and that's when it gets canceled. So we'll see. So those are my rambles for today. Check us out next time. So see you next time.